Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are going
Deep.
deep. That's right. We're diving deep into some strategies for winning
Yeah.
in all walks of life.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and this is all fascinating research that was put together by the team at Mind Over Matter.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, they've really covered everything
They have.
from mindset and goal setting to productivity and even
Yeah.
the influence of your social circle.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
You know, we often chase success without realizing that it all starts with the right mindset.
Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack this whole mindset thing.
Okay.
The Mind Over Matter team found some pretty amazing stats from Stanford Research. It turns out that people with a growth mindset can outperform those with a fixed mindset by a significant 20–30%.
Wow, that's a
lot.
huge difference. A growth
Yeah.
mindset, means seeing challenges as opportunities
Right.
to learn and grow rather than roadblocks. It's
Right.
about believing that your abilities can be developed.
Right. Which
The-
can, completely change how you approach everything.
So it's not just about positive thinking. It's like it actually translates into tangible results.
Absolutely.
Right.
And to cultivate this mindset,
Yeah.
consider a simple daily practice.
Yeah.
Just 5 to 10 minutes of reflection.
Mm.
Write down the biggest lesson or area of improvement from your day. Imagine the impact of consistently doing this. The Mind Over Matter team suggests a potential 25% increase in personal growth over a year.
Whoa, that's incredible. It reminds me of that Wayne Dyer quote.
Yeah.
If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Love it.
So we've got the foundation, right? We've got the right mindset.
The foundation.
What about the actions?
Yes. Well, the Mind Over Matter research highlights four key strategies.
4 key strategies.
And the first one,
Okay.
perhaps unsurprisingly,
Yeah.
is setting bold and measurable goals.
Goals. Got it.
Uh,
Always making lists.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just feel so overwhelming. I hear you. The key here is specificity and challenge.
Okay.
Edwin Locke's research found that setting specific, challenging goals
Yeah.
can lead to a remarkable 90% increase in performance.
90%. Wow. So instead of just saying, I want to get in shape, it's like, I wanted to run a 10K in under an hour within 3 months.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's specific, measurable, and has a deadline.
Right.
You can take it a step further with the SMART framework.
Smart.
Specific,
Okay.
measurable, achievable,
you.
relevant,
Uh-huh.
and time-bound
Smart goals.
to really give your goal structure.
Love it. Okay, so mindset's in check. Goals are set.
You're cooking.
What's the next strategy from Mind Over Matters research?
It's the principle of continuous improvement.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the compound effect?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Vaguely refresh my memory.
It's the idea that small, consistent improvements,
Yep.
even just 1% each day, accumulate over time,
Right.
leading to astonishing results. In fact, you'd be 37 times better in a year.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard a similar quote. If you improve by 1% each day, you're 100% better in just 70 days.
That's it. That's the spirit.
Right.
A great example of this in action is the Japanese concept of Kaizen,
Kaizen.
which focuses on making small, continuous improvements.
Okay.
Think about dedicating just 15 minutes each day to learning something new in your field.
Okay.
That consistent effort builds up over time, giving you a significant advantage.
Small steps, big results. It makes sense, but staying consistent can be so tough.
It can be.
What about getting things done, efficiently?
Right.
The Mind Over Matter team must have some insights on productivity, right?
They do, and it starts with understanding the 80-20 rule,
The 80/20.
what's known as the Pareto principle.
Okay.
It suggests that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts.
Wow.
The key is to identify those high-impact activities and prioritize them.
So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Yes.
What are some practical techniques for doing that?
Well, there's the Pomodoro technique.
I've heard of that.
It involves working in focused bursts of 25 minutes, followed by a short 5-minute break.
Okay.
This cycle helps maintain concentration and prevents burnout.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it. I'm always tempted to just power through, but maybe those breaks would actually make me more productive.
It's counterintuitive, but it works.
You're right.
And here's another surprisingly effective tip. Limit your daily to-do list to your top 3 priorities.
Oh, interesting.
Research suggests that focusing on fewer tasks actually leads to greater accomplishment.
Less is more, huh?
Less is more. It's about channeling your energy where it matters most.
Okay.
And speaking of influences,
Uh-huh.
The final strategy from Mind Over Matter's research is all about your social circle.
Oh, or social circle.
It might surprise you,
Okay.
but research suggests that your income and success levels tend to mirror the average of the 5 people you're closest to.
Really? So are we saying ditch your friends if they aren't like high achievers?
Yeah. Not necessarily ditch, but it is a good time to reflect.
Okay.
Ask yourself, do the people I spend the most time with inspire me,
Yeah.
challenge me,
Right.
and support my growth, or do they hold me back?
That's a good question. And I've definitely noticed how my own aspirations have shifted based on the people I've been around.
It's powerful,
It's very powerful.
isn't it?
Yeah.
How much our social environment shapes us.
It really is. It really is. But, even with the right mindset and the goals and the strategy,
Right.
staying motivated can be a real challenge.
Yeah.
The Mind Over Matter team found that only 8% of people actually stick to their goals.
Wow. That statistic that's a bit disheartening.
It is.
But it underscores the importance of building momentum and establishing those positive habits.
So how do we break free from that 8%
Right.
and actually make lasting changes?
One effective technique is habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
This involves linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, you could commit to reviewing your goals for the day right after you brush your teeth each morning.
That's a great idea. I already brush my teeth every day.
Right?
So why not add a quick goal review to the routine? It's like those tiny habits I've read about.
Exactly. Small changes consistently applied can lead to significant shifts over time.
Right.
As Robin Sharma said, small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results.
I love that quote. So to recap, the Mind Over Matter team's research
Yes.
has given us a powerful framework for winning in all areas of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Developing a growth mindset, setting those clear goals, embracing continuous improvement,
Right.
optimizing productivity, and surrounding ourselves with the right people.
It's a lot. It's a holistic approach that
Yeah.
acknowledges the interconnectedness of these elements.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The Mind Over Matter team hasn't just stopped at research.
Oh, okay.
They've created a fantastic resource to help you apply these principles in a practical way.
You're talking about their podcast, right?
Yes. The Mind Over Matter podcast.
Okay.
It delves deeper into all the topics we've discussed, offering actionable advice, inspiring stories, and expert insights to help you
Wow.
make those small daily improvements that add up to big wins.
I love that they've taken this research and made it accessible to everyone.
Right.
It's like having a personal coach in your pocket.
And that's precisely what's so great about podcasts.
Yeah.
They offer ongoing support and guidance whenever and wherever you need them.
Right.
The Mind Over Matter podcast is packed with tips on everything from cultivating a growth mindset and overcoming those limiting beliefs to setting powerful goals and mastering productivity techniques.
So it sounds like an invaluable resource for anyone looking to really level up their life.
Absolutely.
And as we discussed earlier, that 8% who actually achieve their goals probably have support systems in place.
They do. They do.
The Mind Over Matter podcast and their community could be that support for our listeners.
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is that it's readily available and free.
Yes.
All you have to do is hit that subscribe button.
So if you're feeling inspired and want to delve deeper into these strategies for winning in all walks of life, I highly recommend subscribing to the Mind Over Matter podcast.
I do too.
They cover everything we've talked about today and so much more.
Remember, winning isn't about luck or some secret formula.
Right.
It's about making intentional choices,
Yeah.
developing empowering habits, and surrounding yourself with the right influences.
Yeah. The Mind Over Matter team has done the heavy lifting by providing the research and the resources
They have.
to guide you on that journey.
They've taken the guesswork out of it. Now it's your turn to take action.
Subscribe to the Mind Over Matter podcast today and start creating the life you've always wanted. You won't regret it.
So we've covered a lot of ground exploring the key elements of winning as outlined by the Mind Over Matter team's research.
Yeah, we have.
From mindset to social circles, we've seen how these pieces fit together.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
But it's not just about knowing the information.
Right.
It's about putting it into practice.
Yes.
And the Mind Over Matter podcast is a great tool for that ongoing learning and application.
It is. It's been a fascinating deep dive, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's amazing how much research and insight the Mind Over Matter team has put together.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
What is one small step you can take today to apply one of these insights?
That's a great question to ponder. Maybe it's committing to that 5 minutes of daily reflection to cultivate a growth mindset.
Could be.
Or perhaps it's identifying your top 3 priorities for the day to maximize productivity.
Yeah.
It could even be reaching out to someone who inspires you and scheduling a coffee chat.
The answer is unique to each individual.
Right.
But the key is to take action.
Take action.
Don't let this knowledge just sit there. Put it into practice.
Because ultimately, winning is about doing, not just knowing. So take that first step, and then the next, and the next, and you'll be amazed at the progress you make.
Yeah, it really is about like taking those small steps.
It is.
And building on them.
And that's where the Mind Over Matter podcast comes in.
Right.
It's like having a guide
Yeah.
and a cheerleader along the way,
Yeah.
reminding you of these principles and giving you those practical tips to implement them.
I think a lot of people get stuck
Yeah,
because they try to do too much at once.
Yeah.
They get overwhelmed and they give up.
absolutely. That's why the idea of focusing on just 1% improvement each day is so powerful.
Right.
It feels manageable.
It does.
And yet over time, it leads to remarkable results.
Just like that saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly. And the Mind Over Matter team provides the map and the compass for that journey.
I like that.
They've done the research, they've identified the key strategies,
Right.
and they're sharing it all in a way that's engaging and easy to understand. So if you're serious about winning in all walks of life, subscribing to their podcast is a no-brainer.
It is.
It's a free resource that can have a profound impact on your trajectory.
It's an investment in yourself,
Yeah.
in your growth, in your future.
And remember, winning isn't about being perfect.
Right.
It's about progress.
It's about constantly striving
Yeah.
to become the best version of yourself.
I love that.
And that's a journey that's worth taking.
It is.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
We hope you found it valuable.
And remember, the journey doesn't end here.
It doesn't.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to reach your full potential.
And if you need a little guidance and inspiration along the way, the Mind Over Matter podcast is there for you.
Awesome. We'll see you on the next deep dive.